The success of a company depends on many things, one of which are most important is communication. But communication is not just talking. Communication is the process of which information is given and received. Communication is not just effective on its own. There are several factors that determine whether or not communication is effective. The process of receiving and giving can be done in several different ways. Such ways include upward and downward communication, as well as horizontal and through the grapevine. Task-related issues generally occur by downward communication. That is when a manager or supervisor is given specific information or orders to an employee. This type of communication is typically discouraging because an employee may feel that they are being talked down to or not appreciated. Another form of communication is more on the horizontal axis. This is a more open door policy where workers and supervisors are free to just have honest conversation, making suggestions to each other. Upward communication occurs when the employee is telling information to the supervisor. This type of communication often keeps the supervisor in loop with what is going on between the employees. Communication between the employees exists as through the grapevine communication. This type of communication is often most typically used in a social aspect between employees getting the ins and the outs of what's going on. Communication can be verbal or nonverbal. When speaking directly to a supervisor or another employee, it's considered verbal communication. When using means of emails, letters, instant messages, that's when it becomes nonverbal. Although these forms of communication are highly efficient, they do require additional etiquette. It is necessary to be thoughtful of the audience you're addressing, the manner in which you're addressing them, your spelling and grammar, and as well as the layout. Oftentimes, electric communication can be ambiguous due to the fact that it's hard to relay emotion. Emotional cues, however, account for nearly 60% of in-person nonverbal communication. For example, if you'll notice before, I was just lounging in bed. My eyes were wandering and I was wearing a sweatshirt. How does that convey to you that I want to be presented? Very unprofessional. Nonverbal facial expressions, body language, eye contact, and overall appearance accounts for the 60% of nonverbal cues seen during verbal conversations. Overall, effective communication is done best face to face. This is necessary when communicating one-on-one rather than sending company-wide emails. It is best to do this because it keeps employees happy, satisfied, and makes them feel like they've got a word in what's going on. In fact, a survey completed by over 25,000 employees from 17 different companies showed that employees actually prefer face-to-face communication rather than email. This left employees with a better understanding and a clearer aspect when it came to their company. Within the food service and hospitality business, we can definitely see where communication is absolutely necessary. For example, working in the kitchen, when it gets busy, it's very, very important that we communicate. From the expediter saying no cheese on that salad to the line cook talking to the garde manger saying, oh, I've already got the salad up, or I've got your chicken ready for the salad, it's very important to communicate. Lack of communication can lead to food waste, mistakes, and customer dissatisfaction. Within hospitality, it is important to communicate to make sure you're not overbooking rooms, charging people the wrong prices, or forgetting about special occasions. All in all, in the corporate world, communication is key. Without communication, a company cannot run effectively. Effective communication is also important to remember. Just because you're talking doesn't mean you're communicating. It is important to remember that there's a difference between methods and their effectiveness in communication. Effective communication can either make or break a company. All in all, with a plan and standards to abide by, communication can be a very positive and powerful thing.